Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you are going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our dear sister at 40 years old. She's saying that she has never had a child before. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nash, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? My brother, I want to confess to you that my own mother, she is a witch. Indeed, my mother is a witch. My mom, she comes from Mozambique, but she actually ran away from Mozambique. I do not even know my father. And when we grew up, we started staying in Zambia. That was the first country that she ran to, and from there on, that was when she migrated out of Zambia, and we ended up being here in Zim. And my mother actually has her own house here in the capital city of Zim. My mom is a well-known witch, and whatever my mom will say, that thing, it will bound to happen. And as for my mom, when we were growing up, she used to tell us that my father hated us a lot. My mom actually told me a story, and she said that when she was pregnant, carrying me in her womb, my father one day returned from the beer hall, and he was holding a very long knife, you know, those machete knives, and he wanted to cut my mom's womb, and he wanted to cut my mom's stomach open so that he can remove me from my mother's womb. But later on, we found out that this was nothing but a lie. When my mom got married, she started to bewitch all of my father's relatives until eventually they chased her out of the village. And when she said to my father, let us live together because you cannot remain behind, my father was scared, and my father was saying that since they are saying that you are a witch, why don't we go to a healer first so that we can confirm if indeed you are a witch? My mother, it was said that she then cursed my father, and my father, if he is still alive, I don't know if he is still alive, but I doubt that my father is still alive. But the prophet said, if he is still alive, it means that your father is paralyzed. From that time that your mother ran away from that village where she was married into and where she was staying with your father, my father then got paralyzed, and he's actually staying, and my father got paralyzed and he never recovered. So my mother then ran to Zambia, and later on she came to Zim. My mom came here to Zim. She then rejoined with some other witches, 4 of them, but the prophet who helped us told us that amongst these 4 witches, my mom included, one of them who was very powerful has since passed away. When this witch passed away, they then went to Malawi so that they can be strengthened, and they wanted to transfer the powers that once belonged to that powerful witch who was part of their gang, so that my mom can become that powerful witch. When they went to Malawi, what they were told by the traditional healer was that they had to perform a ceremony. My mom and her friends, they returned back from Malawi, and they went to that woman's village who was also a witch. And when they arrived in her village, it was said that they went around the bushes trying to trap a snake. Finally, they then managed to trap a cobra. And when they had managed to trap this cobra, that snake, then they went with this snake and they placed it on top of that old witch's grave. And this snake then got possessed by the spirit of that old witch. The prophet told us that this snake, it stays in my mother's wardrobe. That is where this snake stays. And my brother, to tell you the truth, the prophet is not lying at all, because ever since we were really young, at our house, we always knew that we will find a snake. Whenever it was snake season, you could actually see a snake, this same snake, a cobra, on a daily basis. When we started to suspect that there was something that was wrong, even the neighbors and our tenants, because my mother then rented out a lot of back rooms at the house that she bought. So the tenants and the neighbors, they started to complain because it was in June when it was really cold. So it is very rare to see a snake. But we started to see a snake each and every day each and every day. When everyone started to complain in our street in that year, there were 4 people that died, my brother. The prophet told us that this snake, it survives on blood, and at our house, each and every day when someone is about to die in our neighborhood, you will wake up and you will see a very big cobra. This snake, it does not bite anyone. You will actually see it at the back of the houses. And I know that my mother, indeed, she is a witch, because I have dreamt about my mother. I have dreamt about my mother as she will be transforming herself, becoming a snake. Whenever I have this dream, I'll have this sleep paralysis that is very terrible and painful. Sometimes this sleep paralysis can take hold of me for almost 30 minutes or more. What pains me right now, my brother, is that as for my mother, what she does to me, it is painful. I don't know, maybe there are some of her demons, but when I wake up, I usually see my mother naked walking out of my bedroom. And whenever I start to date a man, someone who has potential to marry me, the moment that I'll have this terrible dream, seeing my mother having that sleep paralysis for about 30 minutes, waking up and watching my mother as she will be leaving that room in which I'll be sleeping with my boyfriend, then I will know that for sure this relationship, it is not going anywhere. I am struggling, my mother. I am struggling, my brother. I have dated a lot of guys, and some of these guys that I have dated, they came back to me and they said that before I had met you, my life was really going great. But the moment that I started dating you, then it was like you gave me bad luck. I have a spirit of bad luck when it comes to men. There is no man who is willing to be in a committed relationship with me. So recently in our neighborhood, you know that right now in Zim, there is this trend whereby people, they have their dinners whereby they invite these marine spirits. So I once attended this other dinner party for the river spirits. Whilst I was there was one woman who stood up and she started to cry as she was singing some sad traditional songs, and everyone who was at that dinner party that was being held in respect of the river spirits and the mermaids, everyone started crying. Then there came a whirlwind, and from that whirlwind there came a voice that told me that indeed what the prophet had told me was nothing but the truth. But what is needed is that I was told that there is a man who is in DRC who can help me. This spirit that spoke from the whirlwind, which was inside the whirlwind, told me that if I have enough money, but the money that is being requested, the spirit can actually direct me to DRC. The money that is required for me to be released from these curses, it is about 10,000 US dollars. I am a poor nobody, my brother. I just survive, my brother, by selling some energy drinks in town. I sell some dragons, cascades, and other energy drinks. I do not have any money, and I don't think that I'll ever make so much money in my life. But this is what was said when I went to attend that dinner party, which was being held in respect and honor and honoring the river spirits. So some of the ladies that were there, they told me that at least if I keep on going to the river with some white rice candles as well as some eggs and sweets and expensive wine, maybe the river spirits will actually feel sorry for me, and then they will start to fight in my own corner. But the things that I needed for this to be done, they are expensive. There is another woman who said that at least I have to have something like 200 US dollars so that she can find a traditional healer who can guide me going to the river, this other river which is here in Harare, where we can go and offer the sweets as well as the white rice and everything to the river spirits, then the mermaids, they will start to fight in my corner. This is my own story, my brother. I do not know if I am going to get any kind of help at all, but what I am going through, it is really painful. It is not an easy one, knowing that at 40 years old, you have never been married. At 40 years old, whenever you have a dream having intercourse with your mother, then that will mean the end of your dreams. I am a woman, my mother is a woman, but I have dreams having intercourse with her, and whenever I have these dreams, it will be so nice, my brother, so much that if I am dating any guy at that time, I will start to feel that I hate that guy that I will be dating with a passion. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sisters. What a sad story, what a sad story. Just imagine having dreams, having sexual intercourse with your mother when you are a woman. Strange things do happen in this world.